Hello everyone! Today we actually have another InZOI video. I totally forgot about InZOI, to be perfectly honest with you, but it's actually coming out in a couple of days, so I'm excited to see if my computer will run it, and most importantly, what it's gonna look like, because I haven't been caught up in InZOI, so if you'd like to catch me up, comment down below. And without further ado, let's get into it! Oh, it's DirectX 12. 40 gigabytes! Okay, so this is more like my graphics card. That's pretty. Should I be noticing a difference here? 4K, but I only go to 440. Okay, 16 gigabytes of RAM. Oh, see, I have 12 gigabytes of VRAM. So I might be in between these two. Okay, yeah, so, you're not seeing me there. Okay, recommended. So, I can't wait to see all, like, the Sims 4 people having this, because, you know, listen, does EA optimize their games well? No, but this genuinely needs the power that they say they do because of all the functionalities and having it being open world. EA is just actively scamming Sims 4 players because they know that they'll do whatever because they love the game, which is really unfortunate. The Sims 4 does not need the power behind it that you think it does. It's cartoony, it's not realistic, and quite frankly, it's just a mess of a code that they thought would only be for online, and then it ended up being a single-player game that lasted them 10 years, so. Wow, that looks bad. The ZOIs look terrible. There we go. Yeah, I can't run minimum, I'd lose my mind. Medium isn't bad, though. Recommended. Recommended's alright, I can't really notice a difference. But I can with high, if you will. These look like ultra to me. Yeah. You can kind of tell it by the shadows, mostly. Like, the sun rays are actually better than in minimum. One thing that I'm curious about is the storage going up to 70 gigabytes. Are they going to do what Capcom does with Monster Hunter, where they basically have like an HD textures pack where you can make it look better? That'd be very helpful, especially to those who don't have 1 terabyte hard drives. I think this would actually be very helpful, and I'm glad that more companies are incorporating that. Wow, minimum graphics are rough. See, it goes 40, 50. So yeah, part of me is thinking that there'll be an HD texture where you can install it, and maybe they'll do GTA where it's like enhanced in Legacy. Very glad that they know their audience well enough to be like, hey, we know you may not have a lot of graphics for this, so we're gonna be generous, and we're just going to give you guys what you need specifically for your machine. And I think a lot more game companies should take note of that, for sure. Also, good on them for making it Windows 10 compatible, because Windows 11 still has stupid recommendations. And 32-bit machines got abandoned, pretty much. The rain also looks gorgeous. Okay, so we have apartment living that's just already in the game and it's not DLC alongside weather. So we're already off to a great start there. Internet connection, it's always DirectX 12, which I'm curious about if they will have a DirectX 11 version for the minimum graphics part. They haven't mentioned it, and I'm probably going to be really wrong with that, but I am hoping maybe DirectX 11's a thing, because it is unfortunately more stable on my machine. But we shall see. Also grateful that they're actually putting Intel and Radeon processors. Same with graphics card, Radeon and NVIDIA, that's huge. And if you have an Intel Arc card, go buy Radeon. already. I'm very excited. You can definitely tell a big jump. Yeah, wow. Even from afar, the InZOIs just look... Yeah. So is this with the 3060? Okay. I'm actually very lucky that my 3060 cards on the medium end. However, I do have more VRAM to spare and RAM in general. I'm memory loaded. I got 12 gigabytes of VRAM and 32 gigabytes of RAM. I am also very happy to see that it's limited to 16. I'm not seeing any like crazy 128 gigabytes of RAM here. I'm hoping that they optimized it as well as I'm assuming, looking at the specs and the ray tracings and honestly the wrinkles on this InZOI's face, which is a crazy thing to say, but it's true. The reflection in the glasses is crazy. Hopefully I can get my InZOIs to look as shiny as I am. I'm wearing sunscreen, okay. Yeah, minimum's really rough. But it'll do. It's still better than The Sims 4, so... Hey, what can you do, right? Yeah, still looks better than The Sims 4. Oh, I'm curious on the dynamic lighting of the fire. You can tell minimum, it's just the backsplash because of... Okay, so we have more reflections there. You can see the asphalt. I am curious if your apartment or house can catch fire and how that would also look. Like, I know it would look like this, but would it be really, really bright? Because I know some games where, like, if you look at the sun, you're blinded. And the same thing goes with fire, especially in real life. It's a hard thing to look at. So I'm wondering if this blown up to a full house would be just as bright and dynamic. I'm also shocked to see a vinyl player back there. 30, oh, I didn't read that before. Sorry, they do recommend 32 gigs, but that's to be expected. However, I'm not seeing 120 gigabytes of RAM, so that's really good. And if you're wondering why that number specifically, it's the cutoff before you have to get Windows Pro Edition. This goes for 10 and 11. Because for whatever reason, they don't recognize more RAM beyond that because of your Windows type. So it's good that they aren't recommending you get Windows Pro to run their games. Yes, I've been in the tech field for as long as I've been born, but... And I get excited when I can talk about it to someone, so sorry if I'm annoying you, but... Stuff like this is truly fascinating. See, like, this does... Ugh. I'm sorry, if you have 12 gigabytes of RAM, you have no business running this game. Like, they just look like blurry faces. Like, this is what Candyman looked like by Jordan Peele. Like, this is Candyman. If you want a horror game, running at minimum graphics, my god. Oh, wait. Okay, you can play a guitar for money. That's gonna be fun for, like, challenges where you have to be homeless. If InZOIs are gonna follow the Sims community, I'm not sure, but I think they're intertwined, so. One thing I've noticed crazy is the post-rendering of the background, especially the buildings. I'm glad that they aren't so poorly optimized because they want to show off the graphics, but the post-processing power, it's a lot like The Sims 3 if you played it, where if the buildings look really bad, then they just look really bad, and you can actually set how many lots you want to look like high def. I think the max is 8, the minimum's like 1, which is the one you're on. So this is actually a really good sign for optimization, because if it just loads everything, your CPU is going to get bogged down, and especially your graphics. So I'm actually happy to see that. I know some people are going to be like, that looks bad, but I'm like, I'm glad it's optimized, especially open world. And quite frankly, you're not going to be looking at this. You're going to be looking at the Zoids talking, the music, maybe even the trains. Oh, no, that's a highway. Sorry, that's a bus. I thought that was a train. But I'm happy to see that. And throughout all the graphics, they look almost identical too. I'm sure that'll be a setting that you can toggle. I have no doubts about that. But it could truly be great for slower processors. I want to see the difference of the flour. Okay. It's a naturally flatter flour. I see. This is another thing. When the leaves in real life hit the sun, they kind of go transparent like that. And I haven't seen a game look so realistic doing that than InZOI. Even like the cherry blossom type pink tree back there, down to the flowers, it's actually very surprising. I might have to get a mod that lessens the brightness of the sun if it's not as a setting, because I have naturally sensitive eyes. And I've made the mistake of going on ARC without turning that off. The first one, by the way. So pro tip for all the sensitive eye girlies out there, don't don't play it. Yeah, it's pretty solid. Oh, thank God for this screen. The lamp, I don't know why it looks so gray. It looks like it got ripped out of GTA 4, but when the graphics get higher, it looks better, so that's good. I'm glad to see the development. Ooh. I'm glad to see that development has really pushed forward InZOI instead of hurting them, because I was worried about the game. I was scared that they were going to oversell it, and then when it was time to be released, it would be another Sims 4 situation. I'm fearful of that happening because I actually pre-ordered the game, and I deeply regretted it. So let me know what you guys think. What can your computer run? What type of graphics? I'm definitely in between recommended and medium. I think I would be a sweet spot somewhere in there. So let me know. If you have any questions that you think I could answer, let me know, especially in regards of specs. Just because I would like to help with the community. I know a lot of them aren't tech savvy. They just rather plug and play, and I love that for you guys. But there's people out there with 4 gigabytes of RAM that have this wish listed, and I'm telling you that's not going to happen, sweetheart. So please do your research and rewatch the video again if you need to. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so excited for InZOI, and I'll see you guys in a later video. Bye!